Alright guys, welcome back to What If Raditz Survived. I'm enjoying this series, I hope you are, and things are about to pick up. With all that being said, let's get to it. As future trucks would come by, and Frieza and King Cole, when all this stuff was going on, Raditz was nowhere to be seen. Raditz got a spaceship and left as soon as possible. As soon as he arrived on Earth, he demanded Dr. Briefs make him one. He wasn't waiting for Kakarot. He didn't need him. All he needed was himself. All he needed was training. And he would not come back to Earth until he was a Super Saiyan. He took a vow. As Raditz did non-stop training until he could reach Super Saiyan. He wasn't even there when Trunks showed up. When Frieza and King Cole showed up, he was off training. And even if he was, he wouldn't care about the androids. He wasn't going to train for anyone else but himself, to prove himself, to better himself. He wasn't going to let his brother be ahead of him. He continued to train tirelessly, day in and day out, pushing himself further and further with one goal in mind, to become a Super Saiyan. It tortured him in his mind. No matter how hard he trained, no matter what he did, he would never reach it. And this torturing came through him for months. Eventually, an entire year would pass, and he still wouldn't be a Super Saiyan. He would scream in anger. He would scream in pain. He would scream in frustration. The feeling of being weak, the feeling of being pathetic. Suddenly, his hair would turn yellow as he achieved it. He would quickly fly back to Earth as soon as possible. Meanwhile, Vegeta just destroyed Android 19 when suddenly a spaceship would arrive, and Raditz would get out of it. Everyone was shocked. As Vegeta said, "Go back, you might as well. I have achieved the dream, we don't need you." And Raditz says, "Oh yeah, the dream of becoming a Super Saiyan?" as he turned into a Super Saiyan 2. This shocked Vegeta. It seemed like Raditz had the ability also. Vegeta and Raditz would then begin to talk, as they would argue over who gets to finish off Dr. Gero. "I just got here, it's only fair. I'm the boss. Can it, Raditz? This Super Saiyan form's gone to your head." When suddenly he would run away over all the arguing. So they would begin to chase him, and things would play out normally as in canon. Trunks would try to stop them from battling them right now and try to get Goku, but Raditz would refuse, saying he has to prove he's better than his brother. And Vegeta would say he has to prove he's the best of all the Saiyans. Both of them wanted to prove themselves, when suddenly it was time for them to fight 17 and 18. Vegeta and Raditz would both laugh. Raditz would be laughing at them. "So this is who I'm gonna fight, a teenage boy and girl. I'm supposed to be scared of them. This is why you went to the future. Pathetic," Raditz would say as he quickly flew over towards 17 and began to fight him, while Vegeta fought 18. Vegeta and Raditz both pushed them with everything they got, with everything they had, their Saiyan pride, their Saiyan instincts kicking in, with excitement to win, to prove that they were better than Kakarot, to prove themselves. However, sadly, things did not go well. Vegeta got his arm broken, and Raditz got his legs broken, as they were both thrown into a pile to lay there. As the rest of the Z-Fighters were defeated, 17 and 18 left like in canon. As they were healed, Vegeta got mad and flew off, and Raditz looked down sad. All of this training, all of this effort for nothing. No, it couldn't be. Raditz would fly away and hide his tears. Raditz would decide to fly over to Kame's house to look at his brother. As he went there, Master Roshi looked at him scared. So did Chi-Chi and Bulma. Both of them began to shake in fear, looking at Raditz, and Raditz said, "Shut up, I'm just here to protect my brother." As he walked up the stairs, he would look at him as he screamed in pain. Yamcha would look at him and say, "What are you doing?" "I wasn't strong enough. So, we need more fighters, and I figured I'd at least make sure he's okay." He looked down at his brother and sighed, thinking about the time he kidnapped his nephew, thinking about how all this began, as he simply looked down upon him, as he screamed in agony and pain. And he waited for things to get better. He waited for things to change. As Raditz waited, eventually Goku would wake up. Goku would wake up, he would look around and say, What happened?" Yamcha would be there and said, "It was Raditz. He stood here the whole time waiting for you to wake up." Goku would smile and say, "Good. And I have a plan." "A plan?" Raditz would say, confused. "Yeah. A place where you can get a year's worth of training." Raditz would be intrigued, as Raditz and Kakarot and Vegeta would all go out to the lookout. Raditz would wait outside, as Vegeta and Trunks would go in first. and he would wait as Piccolo fought the androids, and Raditz would talk to Kakarot. Kakarot would look at him, and they would all have a somewhat friendly conversation. Kakarot is a forgiving person, so he mostly forgave Raditz for kidnapping his nephew and everything. And considering that he helped save him and watched over when he was sick, he had really no reason, and he could sense a change in Raditz. Even if Raditz wouldn't even admit it, he could still sense it. Although Raditz was talking, and Raditz had a choice. He kept feeling this evil within him, but he kept feeling the good in him too. He didn't really know if he wanted to change. This conflict was deep inside of him, but no matter what he did, he felt like he couldn't really do much about it, considering the threat at hand, so he decided to put that away. And as they talked and were worried about Piccolo, eventually they would come out, and Kakarot and Gohan would go in. Raditz would say, "Who's gonna be my partner?" Piccolo would look at him and say, "I'll go in with you." "Really?" "Yeah. I just got my butt handed to me, so I need to be stronger. And besides, we need all the help we can get with this Cell, now that he's perfect." Raditz would nod, and as they came out, Raditz and Piccolo would walk into the time chamber and begin to train. As Piccolo and Raditz both began to train, they also began to talk to each other. Piccolo would tell a story about how he used to be the Demon King's son, and how he turned good over Gohan, and his whole life story. And Raditz would tell him how he was bullied, forced to be what he was, and now for the first time ever, he has a choice to be who he is, and he doesn't really know who or what he should be. Piccolo would empathize with that, and Raditz would unlock Grade 2 of Super Saiyan. He would try to go further, he felt that he could, but no matter how hard he pushed himself, he just couldn't reach it within a year's time. Eventually, though, Piccolo and Raditz would have to walk out. As they walk out, they both began to laugh, and they seemed like they were friends. Vegeta would look at us and said, "So, you became friends with a green man, how pathetic." Raditz would say, "Hey, this green man was stronger than you at one point, so show respect." As they both laughed, Vegeta got annoyed. As then they would get prepared for the Cell Games. Eventually the time would pass, and the Cell Games would come. All the fighters came to watch. Cell would look straight at Raditz and say, "Oh, I haven't seen you. Brother of Goku. Oh. Looks like you turned around a new leaf like Vegeta. Isn't that sweet?" Raditz would say, "Shut up." Cell would just laugh, as Cell then began to fight Goku, and Raditz and Vegeta both watched. But suddenly Goku would do something unexpected. As Goku was battling Cell, and they were both pushing each other further and further, Goku looked at him and said, "I give up." Cell was like, "What?" "Yeah, I quit." Raditz said, "You can't do this, brother. After everything we fought for, after everything we done, you just give up?" "Yep." Cell would say, "I hope you're able to accept the consequences of his actions, because I'll blow up this planet." Goku goes, "No, there's still another fighter for you, Gohan." Gohan and Cell would both begin the battle, but as they battled, Gohan was getting beat up. Gohan was having a trouble get angry. Gohan didn't want to fight. Gohan wasn't a fighter. It just wasn't in his blood. But he had a great power, great potential. Raditz saw this and began to yell, "Hey, nephew, do you remember when I put you in that space pod? Do you remember when you got angry and hit me? Where's that little runt? Where's the runt who's strong? Where's the runt who's powerful? Where's the runt who's not a little bitch like the one right here?" He would scream at Gohan to get stronger. Vegeta would scream too. Remember when he went after Nappa? And they would all scream at Gohan, encouraging him, when suddenly he would achieve it, Super Saiyan 2. As Super Saiyan 2, Gohan would begin to beat up Cell. Cell would come back, just like in canon. And as Gohan and Cell did a final Kamehameha, Raditz would appear behind Cell and do a double Sunday. Piccolo a special beam, Krillin a Masenko, Tien a Masenko, and Yamcha a Ki Blast. As they all blasted Perfect Cell from behind with every single bit they got. They were all helping Gohan, hitting him with everything they had. They were not going to stand by and let the fate of the Earth be decided by a kid. True, they might not be as powerful. True, they might not do much, but they have to do whatever they can. They put everything they had into those blasts. As the Kamehameha began to engulf Cell, it destroyed him. As Cell died, the battle went away. As they all cheered, they would look around and see Raditz was gone. Raditz would decide to go out into space. With Cell dead, he had no reason to be on Earth, and he needed to find himself, so he left. With the Raditz gone, Cell dead, Goku dead, how will things play out? Find out in the next episode of What If Raditz Survived. And that's when I'll leave things off. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. And let me know what you think of the series. I'm enjoying it. Sorry Raditz didn't have that big of a part here. He was more of a secondary character. But I feel like that's more of a unique way to put it. Because I could have been like, Raditz turned Super Saiyan 2 and killed Cell. But that's not very, realistic kind of. But the second episode, I'm going to throw realism to the rim, and I'll keep it somewhat Dragon Ball realistic. I like saying realistic, even though it's Dragon Ball, none of it's real, but you know what I mean. Anyway, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Let me know what you think of the video. Peace out.